morning. I'm trying to shoot this as chronologically as I can with as little edits and cuts between shots and stuff as possible, intro excluded I guess, which can only mean one thing. Welcome to my channel's very first vlog style video, a day in the life of a writer. Now, first things first is coffee. Writers, I know you know what I'm talking about. I cannot function properly without at least 2 mugs of coffee to start my day. I just can't focus or, well, as I say, I can't function without this stuff. So, cheers. I just went to look at my watch, I'm not wearing a watch. It's 8 AM. I like to try and get up around 8 AM in the mornings. I find the quietness of the morning a perfect opportunity to get some writing, get some reading and studying done. So my morning routine is get up, make my first cup of coffee, do some reading, second cup of coffee, do some studying, and then we'll go from there. At the minute I'm reading The Outsider by Colin Wilson, Graffiti by Savannah Brown, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson, The Wasteland and Other Poems by T.S. Eliot, and How to Write, The Essential Guide for Authors by Harry Bingham. So yeah, let's get cracking into some books, I guess. So I'm going to read a chapter of Fear and Loathing, then I'll read a poem, then I'll read The Outsider, and then another poem, and then I'm good to go. So that's basically how the start of my morning goes. Oh man, I love coffee. Okay, so once I have a sufficient amount of caffeine in my body, it is shower time. Why am I including this in my vlog, you ask? Well, writers and poets seem to have this weird reputation of not being clean, especially in like the theatre world. For me, it's hugely important to shower in the morning and every day, because even though I'm not going into a place of work, getting dressed and ready for the day helps me convince my brain that I've still got work to do and things to be getting on with. If I decide not to have a shower in the morning, I usually find it harder to get my mind into the right frame of work mode, and then just end up procrastinating all day. Okay, so we're all set for the day. I'm having some serious lighting issues. My phone seems to want to focus over here, so I've had to turn the exposure all the way up just so you can see my face. And now it's just gone crazy. But anyway, we're all set for the day now. We're all ready. I've got myself into work mode, and now we have a small walk to the local coffee shop. Yeah, so I will see you on the walk. When I'm writing fiction, my routine and surrounding is different to when I'm writing poetry. At the moment, I'm in the mode of not actually being able to write any fiction in my writer's shed. My writing routine changes from time to time, and when I get bored of my surroundings, I find it harder to actually motivate myself to work. So although I wrote the entirety of my first novella, Southwest on the A303, my first adventure into fiction, now I can't seem to write my current fiction, work in progress, in their Nerdians. So my solution is I write in my local cafe, and lucky for me I get to enjoy a nice walk on the way, which goes a long way in really helping me get into the writing mindset. I find it really inspiring to see like the trees and the grass and sometimes the cows. I don't think I caught them in this video. So what I also do is I pop in my headphones and I listen to music. This time for fiction I usually listen to film soundtracks that fits the kind of tone and the mood of the chapter that I know I'm going to be working on that day. So yeah, join me as I go on my morning walk and enjoy the quiet morning. People say to me, oh, why don't you just drive there? Well, A, I don't drive there because of climate change, people, and B, because this is actually an integral part of my process, of my writing process. I need this walk. It takes about 15 minutes to listen to the film soundtracks and remind myself what I'm going to be writing today and get myself into the world of Nerdians, basically. So I'm not going to show you the whole walk there just because it would be too boring, and B, because when I got to the footpath to go over into town, it was actually shut. They were fixing the bridge, so that kind of sucked. But I'm just going to skip now to actually being inside the coffee shop, because you don't need to see the whole walk, and if you do want to see the whole walk, let me know and maybe I'll make an Instagram story or something. I like to work solid until I'm happy with the chapter that I'm working on. Usually I write from 10 AM until 1 PM. It's only 3 hours work, I know, but if it's a bad day, I tend not want to push things, because if I do, I can usually tell when I come back to editing it and it's utter shit, which then depresses me and convinces me that I'm a bad writer. So if it's a good day, however, I don't want to go on to the next chapter because I enjoy ending my writing session on a high note and feeling proud of, the work that I've done for the day. It also makes my life a lot easier if I'm excited to come back to work the next day, feeling pumped and know exactly what I want to write. So once I'm satisfied with my quota of writing and what I've done for the day, usually around 1 PM, although today it was 2 PM, I take a nice stroll back the way I came. I say that, but today obviously not because the footpath was blocked. But I turn back, walk the way I came, basically. Only this time I start listening to regular upbeat music that helps me kind of unwind and step back from my fictional world and kind of, I guess you could say, rejoin the real world. But still retain that good mood that I'm in, or if it's a bad day's work, put me in a good mood, I guess. I would play you the particular song I was listening to, but obviously copyright, so I will just see you in the next clip, I guess. Okay, so I'm home now. I've had to turn the exposure all the way up again. I really need to invest in an actual camera, I think. But anyway, I'm home now. I will fix up some lunch and take a couple of hours downtime, so maybe play some PlayStation or watch a film or documentary and kind of just take it easy. Maybe I'll deal with some social media duties I have to do, like post a story on Instagram or just post a photo on Instagram and reply to some inboxes, which I usually do throughout the day anyway. So yeah, now it's just a case of taking some me time, which I think is important in the day of a writer, to just unwind and not worry too much about anything and wait for the sun to set, and then once the sun's set, it's poetry time. So when I'm writing poetry, I like to keep it very personal. It's very different than when I'm writing fiction, which is where my writing shed comes in handy. You can't see anything, but you're getting a really rare glimpse into my shed. Not many people get to come and see inside here. So this is basically it. This is a nice poster I got on typewriters, as you can see. My mum painting, and then some filming lights, and a microphone right here for when I'm doing my voiceovers, and of course my typewriter. So I'm in my shed. First thing first, pop the kettle on, make myself a coffee. In truth, I very rarely drink coffee in here when I'm writing poetry. Usually it's a bottle, and if you don't know what I mean by it's a bottle, you don't need to know. I'm just trying to keep YouTube family friendly. Then next, I always light a candle because it relaxes me. Just why not? Usually I don't have big filming lights on. Usually it's just me and this candle, which always gives off a nice atmosphere. I'll quickly show you what that looks like. I got 3 filming lights. So as you can see why this helps. That's actually better lighting. I prefer this lighting. So I'm just gonna hold this here. And then I put in some headphones, play some music. Here's headphones, play some music. Usually I play jazz instrumentals, or sometimes I listen to songs that I really like and kind of really listen out for lines and stuff that I can really riff off and go with and stand out for me. I also keep a collection of poetry books, but I've forgotten to bring them out with me, so I'm going to go and get them, and then I get to writing. And then that's pretty much it. That's my day. So I'm going to go and write some poems for my Patreon collection, because I need to start that. And I will see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you either on Instagram or in the comments down below, because that's where I hang out. Peace.